Hi guys, it's Opheana Sikaal here.
Today we want to talk to you guys about something very interesting that we've been noticing about the Ascension Energies. You may know, the ones who tune in on a regular basis, that we've been reporting these daily Ascension Energies, daily Ascension Energy updates since mid-October 2017, about 3.5 months now. And we've noticed a very, very clear shift in the energies since probably late November, last week of November onwards. There is a very positive upward moving trend line, and we've made a graph for you guys, and you can actually tune into this graph. We put it in this video so you can see very clearly there's a very steadily increasing trend line since that period. That the energies have increased from an average of 4 and 5 all the way through to a few 8s now, and these are the first 8s that we've recorded. We weren't quite sure if there was an 8 in the period prior to, because we've been looking at these energies since probably 2015. These are the first recorded 8s, and you can very clearly see how they fit into this graph. So the increase of these numbers, what does it really mean? Is it that significant for you? Well, what it really means is that the energies coming in to Earth for Gaia's ascension, for humanity's ascension, are increasing. They are rapidly increasing. It means that we're on a timeline where things are going faster and faster. And when the numbers are higher, it means you're often guided more within, and you have to deal with deeper underlying things within your energy bodies, things that are very hard for you to keep down. Even though you might want to, they're going to be there to be addressed. And this has to do with the raising of your own ascension consciousness energies, your own consciousness level. And so when these energies raise one step at a time, as you can see in that trend line, it simply means there's more solar energies. The collective consciousness is buzzing more. People are looking at their stuff. Mother Gaia is emitting more energies, the Schumann resonance, all those type of things combined. And what we do is, as you know, in that original video that we posted a while ago, we are measuring this number, and this number is guided by us, and we confirm it through intuitive kinesiology muscle testing. And then on a daily basis, we've been reporting this. And it's so interesting to see. So we wanted to talk to you guys about this trend line because it is way too clear to not discuss with you guys.
Yeah, and also just ways to move through each of the numbers. The number is just a symbol, a representation of the energy moving through. And so we've been witnessing, noticing, researching what people go through with each number. The 4s and the 5s. The 4s, they're reasonably gentle, and then the 5s, there's a real steamroller energy. It's kind of like it doesn't allow for any space to not look at stuff, but it's just a pretty constant steamroller, but it's not too intense that you can't cope with it. And then the 6s, the 6 energy, it gets a bit sort of sticky. There's more attachy energies. There's
a bit jagged.
Yeah, a bit jaggedy. If you can, we're talking about the energy, but the circumstances you can come across are the bickering type energy, because people are attached, when you maybe wouldn't normally have that bickering kind of energy there. Just a touch of disharmony in areas, and then bigger disharmony in other areas, and just watching your own thoughts around circumstances or people, and just your mind just trying to get in there and figure it out. When you see yourself doing that, feel yourself doing that, see or witness yourself in an interaction with another person, say, at the shopping center, or just work, an interaction at work, or friends or partner or children, and you notice you're being a little bit overly attached in a conversation, or someone's activated and you're sort of activating your own reaction. Just really, remember there's a choice. Every single time there's a choice in this reaction, whether to react or whether to just sit back and go, I'm out again. I'm not going to plug into this. And that's the key. That's for 6s, just, okay, back to center, come back to your heart space, anchor your pillar, ground, just remember who you are in all of this.
Yeah.
Because it's really like the ocean washing around you. You don't sort of lose yourself in it and go a little bit wish-washy crazy like the white water and the waves. You know, you're still yourself. So be yourself within these intense energies. Flow with it. Oh, okay, this is coming up to deal with. I'm flowing with that. And then the sevens, you know, we've been having a lot of sevens the last couple of weeks, and it's really
significantly more. If
really
you look
powerful.
at that graph, it's crazy. They were like,
Yeah.
I think there was a series of a whole week of sevens, like crazy different to the time before that.
Yeah. I really like the sevens. There's this lovely harmony within it when you get into the slipstream of it. When you're really, really in alignment with that seven energy, there can be absolute harmony, and there can be silky, you know, grace and loving kindness and compassion, and it just everything. The synchronicity, I think that's the word I was looking for. It's just pure synchronicity in the seven if you're in alignment. And then there's other moments when you're not in alignment, when there's stuff to deal with. Life is coming in on you. There's situations that are coming up around you that, you know, it's at a point now where it's getting into the really, really, really deep stuff. So, you know, deep, dark secrets in family, deep, dark secrets in yourself that you thought you dealt with.
In the collective consciousness.
Deep, just
that you're somehow connected to as well.
Yeah, and harsh, realities are all, will be, you know, on these set, they can hit really hard like those waves that, but remembering throughout that it is all an illusion. That all of these things are an illusion, and to allow yourself again to stay in your center, allow yourself to have that internal space.
You know, an analogy that comes up as a visual is you're in the middle of the ocean with huge waves, and you know, it's not these choppy small waves, but the big ones that lift you up, and sometimes they seem like they're gonna, you know, smash over you, but it's about if you surrender into that, you go with it. But at times you feel a bit panicky perhaps, and there's stuff that comes up, and then it's all too daunting. But it's all about settling into it and actually dealing with the things that do come up. Use whatever techniques work for you. For instance, when you feel stress, you could use the EFT tapping points, or for instance, one of the ones we know is very powerful is doing your pillar very strongly, connecting to earth, connecting to source. You know, and even sometimes we take our pillar even down a notch through Gaia to like the galactic core, something like that, to the galaxy. So you lock into all of these movements that are happening because your soul, your spirit knew coming into this incarnation that this would be the case. And yes, sometimes it feels very overwhelming, and it's like, oh, can I handle it? It's like when it's a very hot day and it's almost too hot, and you're like, oh, can my body handle this heat? Well, yes, you can if you sit in yourself. And that's why one of the tips we give is, as the numbers raise, just be internal. Don't go out into, you know, don't search out the busyness of shopping centers and movie theaters and talking to all sorts of people. Just try to bring it in. It's fine if you share with people, but make sure that you understand it's about an internal flow in yourself, and you'll be guided by spirit to move through the layers that you need to. And yeah, it's intense. The energies are big, and they're going to get bigger because we're now just touching on the 8s, and then we fall back to 6s, raise up again. And so probably in 6 months we'll be hitting 9s and 10s, or maybe even in 3 months. We don't know. Earlier, based on that trend line, it's going faster and faster. You know, it's been since the end of November. So what are we looking at? Maybe 7-8 weeks that it's really gone from 4s to now just touching on 8s. It's gone really, really fast.
You know, the information that's coming through us with these numbers, we feel it really is a gift to see the path, to, you know, as if through a jungle there is a path underneath all of the vines, and it's a way to navigate through this density at the moment. And, you know, if it works for you, you know, just really look into, okay, so how How do these numbers feel for me? What does a 7 feel like? And then, you know, when you're moving through your day and you get a little more into your mind space, your lower mind space rather than your higher mind space, you can remember, okay, today's a 7, and on 7 days I tend to do this, or on 6s I tend to get a bit more attached. So I can watch that for the whole day. I can be a little bit more aware of myself. And so even if you are at work, you can be more attentive to staying in your center. I really need to stay in my center today. So if there is an activation in you, a trigger from somewhere in the external, you can breathe, do your pillar. Whew, don't react. It's all good. It's okay.
You know, and the 6s, 5s, 6s, and 7s, I think, have a little bit of that attachy energy, and it's like your mind wants to grab onto something just for a little longer than necessary. And you tend to worry perhaps about details or get stuck in details that are not really relevant. And so when you know it, that's the relevance of these numbers as well. When you know it,
then you can laugh about it.
You can laugh about it because you know it's happening. And when we hit the 8, you know, the 8s can feel like sometimes you're really immersed underwater, like there's waves of energy. You literally feel the energy waving. Sometimes it feels like the layers between the dimensions feel very thin. The veils are very thin, and that's because the energies are getting higher and higher. Just immerse and keep breathing. Always do your pillar and connect to Earth, because she's moving through it as well. Connect to Earth and connect to Source, because then your spirit can hold you while you move. Imagine you're on like these massive rapids on the water. If you flow with it on a very fast running horse, you want to flow with that instead of going against it or being afraid. You have to surrender a little bit. As these energies raise, you just got to surrender and trust that your spirit and your soul know exactly what's going on, and that you are meant to go through these energies because you are here with Gaia, raising the consciousness of the collective, of the whole.
There's also within all of this a voidal energy that's happening at times, and so coming to terms with being in the void, you know, that space within the womb, the universal womb, or even the womb within the woman. Imagine the unborn child's, you know, really just flowing and floating, and there's not much happening except growth. You know, there's experiences of, you know, the sounds and that type of thing, but overall it's a bit voidal. And so to come to an acceptance of that as well, because, you know, we're going to be passing through the veils from 3rd density to 4th density, you know, into 5th dimension, as some people call it. And so it's really about letting go of what is not of the old density, you know, the things that we don't need anymore, and that's where it starts to get more and more voidal, because I was just showing a picture of this baby in the womb with all sorts of things around it, clutter and this and that. They're not coming through with a heap of stuff. They are naked, they are pure, they are innocent. It is the perfection of simplicity. And so to see yourself as that newborn human into the new earth, into 4th density, you can't take stuff with you, and that includes people that are not willing to move, that includes physical items, that includes, you know, situations that you're not quite happy with, that it takes a whole lot of courage to move through, to let go of it, to really let go of it. If you're questioning whether to let go of certain 3D things, dig deeper, because you are being asked that it is time. It's really time to work things out, and you don't have to go crazy and just rip it all to shreds and just jump out of 3D. Yeah, exactly. I would, to be honest, but I'm not like everybody else, and you need to, that's why Sikaal's around, because it's a step-by-step process. It's a step-by-step process to, you know, unfold things, but get moving with it, you know, get moving with it.
And when you are in doubt of, does this still suit me? And you keep getting that signal over and over again, more than likely it's time to let it go, to move on, and just to contemplate, am I okay without this situation, without living in this home, without having this job, without this group of people around me? Because your spirit is guiding you to become like Opheana said, a very pure version of yourself. And as you raise in your energy consciousness, one thing we'll talk about in another video is our Ascension consciousness scale. You move through the different levels, and the more you let go and you come into the higher levels, it's about letting go, surrendering, because then you become in a place where you're at the leading edge of creation. Trust. You are a free agent of the universe, which is why you're here. That is why you're here on your mission. And we know you guys tuning into this have a mission. You're here for a reason. You have something that you are meant to offer to the world, to the new earth, to humanity. And so by stripping back, letting go, allowing yourself to feel safe through all these movements, even though sometimes it feels so thick around you that you can hardly breathe, this is when you trust your journey and know your spirit is guiding you, and you can do it, or else you would not be here, or else you would not be listening to this, because it wouldn't matter to you. Your willingness is so high that you are ready to make these changes, and you are ready to do it, and you can do it. Trust that it's all within you, and that you will get the right moves to make. Even if it seems totally unclear and you feel like you're in a big fog, that's okay. Be in the fog, be in the wave, and when the 9s and 10s hit, we don't know how intense that's going to be, but it'll be more intense than the 5s, 6s, 7s, and 8s. So know that it's coming, and it's not going to change, It's not going to get really easy over the next while, but it's all about how easy are you going to make it for yourself. The more you hang on, the harder it's going to be. That's one thing that we can guarantee, because we've seen it over not just these last 3 months, but the years before that as well. This is a process that has been going on for quite a while now. And it's really, really getting intense. We were guided to actually record the numbers from October onwards. And we understand now why, because from October to sort of end of November, the graph went up and down. There wasn't a pattern. After that, you'll clearly see there was a pattern. And so this is what we're all aware of now. It's like it's in the next gears. They're really revving it up now, The energies are being revved up. We don't know what the timeline is going to bring, but we know that we're tracking these numbers, and it's not for nothing that we're tracking them. We're very clearly guided, and we're sharing this with you now. So if you're tuned into this is relevant for you in your current life.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd like to just share a little bit more about the 8 energies as well. As Sikaal said, it's very wavy. I remember the morning we woke up from sleep on the 8th day. I just literally felt like I was swimming. I was just swimming. And then on another 8th day, we went to the beach, and I slipped into the water, and it was literally like a puzzle piece. The frequency of the water was exactly the frequency of my system. And it was just, I always love the water, but it was just that synchronicity just to a whole new level, and just the pure bliss. I mean, I couldn't stop letting out the sound of it. It was just extraordinary. So it's really the veils between the two worlds are lifting. That's basically what's happening. So it's becoming more energetic. That's why it feels wavy. In third density, it's all in fourth density, there's more flow, there's more synchronicity, there's more harmony, a whole lot more harmony. And so we're between those worlds, and so the veils are lifting. So there's more truth coming, and there's more alignment with synchronicity. And if you're not in that flow of synchronicity, you're going to be hurting yourself a lot. That's our opinion.
Be willing to change, be willing to let go, be willing to surrender, be willing to trust your spirit. The more you hang on, the harder it's going to be. Absolutely. It's like a wave moving you along, and you're holding on to an old chain. Like, oh my God, it's too scary, I'm not safe. But if you just let go, you don't know what the next step in the journey is, but you have to trust more and more that your spirit has the full roadmap. And remember, when you came into this earthly incarnation, again, you knew you would be moving through this intense period. In fact, that was one of the reasons you signed up for this mission. Believe it or not, when you're in it, sometimes it feels really hard and you're like, what did I get myself into as a spirit coming down? It's because the tuning into your mission is getting stronger as well. You are here for a reason. Tune into that reason. You know, we have meditations about that, to tune in and download what is your mission. Get that guidance. Get in there, surrender, let go, and trust that you're being guided. But also know you're in the middle of that journey. You're in the middle of that relocation to new areas, because it's not over yet. You know, we want a break sometimes, and then sometimes we get a break. You know, the energies drop back for a few days and then it goes up again. Our spirits know how much we can handle. But on the other hand, we are in a collective consciousness. We are dependent on Gaia growing and moving as well. So we just follow it. We do our best. We keep breathing, and always set up your pillar and connect to your teams and your spirit, because that's where you're going to get the true empowerment and the feeling of safety and security amidst an ever-changing reality.
And we've been noticing with the Ascension Consciousness readings we've been doing, willingness really is the key, you know, to this whole process. And it's not willing to be strong or to hold on. It's the opposite. It's the willingness to let go. And we really can, you can read the energies of very high frequency people, you know, very high level consciousness. As I said to someone the other day, it's on this earth, it really is like you have a blindfold on, and you have to use your senses to move through this, not your eyes and your ears here on this earth reality, because all of that is a hologram. It's an illusion that we're playing out, and you need to feel deeper into the energy. And so really looking at relationships, especially ones where there's cords continually connecting. Sometimes compassion can go a little overboard. And this is where we see people fall down, when there's just, and I saw myself fall down many, many times. When there's too much compassion, you'll see the very angelic ones on this earth overly compassionate to the point where they sacrifice themselves.
Yep.
They sacrifice their life.
The martyrdom.
The martyrdom. They sacrifice their time, their energy, their money, everything to help another. And I'm not saying not to help others, far from it, far the opposite in fact. It's really about having the willingness to not only have this love, but the light that we talk about so often, the universal truth, you know, Sananda's blue light of truth, just really grounding your light, you know, because the people that we see that have a lot of energy leaks, that type of thing, they're often the more over compassionate ones that are like, yeah, I'm strong enough, have some of my energy. It's not good for them or you, you know. It's not healthy for you to be leaking 25% of your energy because you love and adore somebody and they're in pain. It doesn't help them at all. Be an example. Love yourself enough to show them how to love themselves. And if they don't choose to do that, continually leaking your energy to them is not going to assist them. So this is one of the key areas to stay focused in your own energy. And it feels, for a very angelic, compassionate person, it feels so harsh. But this is one of the keys to move forward. So if you're feeling like there is a lock in your moving forward, really look deeply into your willingness there in relationships.
You know, and one of the things within the readings that we do, one of the things is energy leakage percentage, and one of the others is your love and your light quotient. What we see is that people progress through love. First, you got to embody love, open your heart, learn to love people, to love yourself and others. But the next step onto that, which is that divine union, yourself, masculine and feminine, is the light of it. It's not martyrdom. It's not over compassion. It's just leaking your energy, because you're here as an energetic being. You're plugged into earth. You're plugged into source, and so is every other soul. So you are not responsible for other souls. And that's where it often feels hard for people because they understand you need to be loving and compassionate. Yes, absolutely.
And we're
but
here
then,
to help. It's like this feeling of needing to help.
But then you've got
yeah.
to bring in the light, and the truth of the matter is that each soul has their own energetic source, which is earth and source, and you're all doing it together.
Yes.
And then there's the dance of the karmic dance you do as well, and the choices within soul groups and the missions that everybody has. So all of that pieces together. But I think just my add-on to what Opheana explained is, as we raise in consciousness and the numbers increase, it's okay to understand that truth of what you're here to do, your mission. You're here as a puzzle piece. Your role is not to just be what everybody needs you to be. Your role is to be what you came here to be. And then you'll find, wow, that is what everybody ultimately, truthfully needs me to be. Whether it's eyes and ears on the lower mental energies where you like understand it or not, you've got to follow your own mission. And when you follow your mission, you'll ride these waves, and you and spirit and your soul are going to do it. And you'll have a soul group around you that is going to assist you with that. So all of these pieces, they all form part of the puzzle, and it's not always easy to know, where am I getting stuck? Why is this so hard for me? We have, I think, one basic tip. If things are hard, go within and let go.
Let go.
And surrender and detach from things that you have made your life about, a role that you have. And we've talked about this in many videos, how to let go of 3D and attachments to things, because Spirit and Gaia are cleaning up. Gaia is purging old as well. There's no coincidence there. So trust that you have a mission, trust that you can do this, trust that you knew this was coming, trust that more is coming. Set up your pillar and listen to your guidance, whatever that is. It may be nature, signals around you, however you normally get your guidance, just follow that. You don't need to get perfect spirit messages. It's not about that. It's about you getting insight so that the blindfold that is on, you use your other senses to get the information about the roadmap.
Yes.
Your spirit is guiding you on what is your roadmap. What is my next step? And sometimes the next step is simply to surrender and be in these big energies.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
And you're safe. Yeah. You're safe to do this.
5 minutes of tapping throughout the day can just lift the densities that are around you.
The EFT tapping, we have a video on the channel.
People.
There's 10 points.
Easy.
You just
so
release stress, you release stress.
Done, talk it through.
So simple.
Gone.
We do it every single day.
Couple of minutes in the morning and we're set for the day.
And
we're
sometimes when there's bigger
good.
things, it's a little bit longer, but it just keeps things flowing.
Just
it's
clean,
like,
stream. It's cleaning the stream.
It's just cleaning it all up.
It's beautiful because this is a dense reality. Sikaal and I, we don't choose to live within the 3D reality, and so when we feel heaviness, we literally, we clear our space regularly through the day. But tapping, we still find to this very day that every morning, it's like a really good coffee. It just cleanses. And I'm not saying coffee is good to have all of the time, but the EFT tapping, it clears the space. And it disconnects you from illusions that are in the field or some heaviness, that type of thing. So the other thing I wanted to mention is that I've started posting on Instagram again with the numbers, and I put a little key in there each day just as some support. There's just so much going on that my heart just felt to just give a little bit of extra support. So if you wanted to connect in with that's Opheana Sikaal on Instagram. And like Sikaal said, I just want to repeat it. It's all about letting go. It's all about surrendering.
And trusting.
The biggest initiation at this point in time for everybody is trust and faith, that even if it doesn't feel like it, even if you can't see it, it's to drop deep into that very inner realm, which is more expansive than anywhere, and feeling very strongly that all is okay and that you are in alignment. You just need to let go and then just be held. Just be held, let go, let the river take you, let the wave lift you, Let the wave take you down. Surrender and trust. If you need to, just say those words. I surrender and I trust. I surrender and I trust. And please really look at any areas where you're not willing, because they're the key points that are still anchoring you. And from the very depths of me, as a starseed, from starseed to starseed, it's time, guys. It's really time. So please do whatever you need to do to free yourself. Please do that for yourself.
And just a couple of things, because there's always so much to say, but any blame towards others or other things, let go of it. Any victim, feeling like a victim of this world, try to let go of it. You know, and a couple of things we keep repeating, EFT tapping, yourself, set up your pillar, but check out the Ascension Tools link in the menu on the divineheart.com.au website. There's those couple of things. Look through the Ascension Consciousness Scale more at another time. Look at a reading. Look at getting into all the meditations. Do the weekly meditations. Why? They keep your field clean. They keep you, your spirit gets to communicate through to you all the time. You know, and we keep repeating the same ones because those are the ones that work. You know, we've done a lot of filtering of stuff that doesn't work. And so take from it what you're guided to. But these are simple tools that will get you through these times, that will keep you centered, keep you connected to spirit, to earth, and keep you moving through this, because it ain't over yet. And it doesn't need to be over yet, because you knew again that you were going to be here, and your mission is kicking in strong amidst the turbulence. You don't have to wait for everything to settle down to start your mission. Your mission is now. Your mission is now.
It's not going to settle down for a while, and that's not like a bad thing. That's an exciting thing. That's riding the wave. And like I said, when you connect into that 7 energy or that 8 energy, the divinity of harmony is beyond extraordinary of what you get to experience here on earth. You know, the meditations that we put out, there's energies in there where you can really go into that place, and when you're in your meditation, but in your daily life, having those waves of harmony and peace and just that essence of bliss moving through, you can have that. Choose to be in 4th density now, and really look at what is it that I want and how come I don't have it. And, you know, and within that, letting go of the attachments around that Dharma. You know, Dharma is, what do I need to do my mission? You know, don't project things that, you know, you want to manifest. I get a bit frustrated with the whole law of attraction, manifestation, blah, blah, blah in the spiritual world, because it's like, I'm going to manifest. It's like, really look into, you know, what is in the highest for me. Your presence knows, you know, we get so programmed. There's just programs. You just walk through a program and you're like, yep, this is what I need. I have been to a spiritual conference. Program, this is what I need. No, what you need is in here. Even what we're saying, take it in, strip it back. Is that truth for me? Yeah. Yes, it is. If it's not, then just swipe it, because it's all in you, and we're just reflecting back to you what spirit is bringing through us. It's your choice every step of the way. Look for the programs in yourself, swipe them, get to 4th density in yourself now. You know, now. The collective consciousness needs to do it now, in my opinion.
Another thing to add on as you're moving through the big waves, and sometimes it's just a bit overwhelming, do your pillar, and then do some simple things that maybe not distract you from it, but keep you occupied. You know, watch a movie, play a game, read a book.
The good old-fashioned board games are really a lovely
it really
way
helps to just cruise through it and be in the situation, rather than being in the situation, or trying to just desperately be in your center all the time. Sometimes it's hard to hold your center, and you set up your pillar, you trust your spirit, and you just occupy yourself during that day. Through the storm, you just weather it out. So don't wait until you're back on the shoreline to do some things. Just understand you might be out to sea for a while, and that's okay. Try to find joy in that. Try to find the joy within it, because it's not all hard. Some moments are beautiful and blissful. Some days are amazing. Other days are really hard because they bring up your deepest, darkest stuff. roll with it all. It's just an intense version of what you have been living anyway, and you can do it. You know, it's still gradual enough for you to move through it. Beautiful.
Surrender, let go, trust.
And pillar and tapping and meditation and all the other stuff we said.
We really, really love you guys, and we are quite intense, but we really want to get the message across, you know. So many blessings to your journey, many blessings to the clarity in your journey. Remember the blindfolds on, feel your way through that with your heart, with your higher mind, with your light, and, you know, just do the best that you can and just keep letting go. It's pretty much the only way.
Beautiful. And you can do this, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you click the little bell, you'll get the new meditations every week. You'll get these new videos we're putting out. Look forward to seeing you next time, and all the best. You can do this.
We've got 3 birds looking through our windows at us right now, just wild birds. They quite like what we're saying. So many blessings, lots of love.